Hey, everybody. On this episode of Balk About It, we're going to talk about why don't you have any friends?
You're my friend, right?
I don't know. What else are we going to talk about?
We're also going to talk about our bold predictions for the Cardinals' second half of the season.
And also about the favorite superstar of Nick Castellanos. So let's Balk About It.
Balk About It. Hey everyone, welcome to Balk About It. I'm Brooke Grimsley alongside Polo Asensio, the Cardinals Spanish broadcaster extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire, wow.
Looks fantastic, by the way. This is like a full Cardinals get up from head to toe. Let's break down the fit.
It's I don't know. I try not to be so Cardinal because, obvious reasons.
That's pretty Cardinal.
But it's Springfield.
Yes.
I went to Springfield AA and they gifted me this hat, which is Copa de la Vida hat. If you can see the details on the ass, it's a little bit of skull candy type of situation. You see?
Oh,
so they do that.
Cool.
Yeah, they do that down there, and they actually wear Cardinals jerseys during a few games down on AA and AAA. So yeah, they gave me this, and they didn't pay me, but Ted Drew's, they gave me this T-shirt. Says Birds, Blues, and Drews.
Oh my gosh, I've never seen that before.
Where is it? Right here.
Okay, you need to get sponsored by Ted Drews at this point because you love Ted Drews.
Hey Ted, what's up? Let's make it happen, bro.
What? Okay.
We can put Ted Drews on this cup.
What is your go-to thing to get at Ted Drews?
Ooh, the Meredith.
Okay.
Yeah, if I feel a little adventurous, then I go with the Hawaiian Delight. And if I just want to go, whatever, the sandwiches, the little cookie sandwiches, they're delicious.
I haven't had their cookie sandwiches.
We have to go.
Okay.
I'll take you.
Okay.
Let's go.
And just cookie sandwiches.
You and I, though.
Okay.
We can do like a Balk About It first outing, to celebrate our first 3 or 4 episodes. I don't even know how many we have.
Yes.
So let's go.
And then also we'll court them into sponsoring us.
Why not?
And free ice cream for life.
It's not ice cream. It's custard.
Oh, custard. Already failed. You see, you've already out St. Louis me.
You were born around here. I was not, but it's all right.
You already fully
Mr. St. Louis.
Yes.
You were calling me Mr. Worldwide, Mr. 305. I'm Mr. 314. What is it?
What's with the bracelets?
Oh,
we didn't break. You didn't break down that part of your outfit.
I feel sorry for you because you don't have any friends or you don't have any bracelets.
No.
It's all about the Twee Sif Tissel. My sister.
The what?
Twee Sif Tissel. Taylor Swift, that's what we call it.
Taylor Swift, yeah. Okay.
Friendship bracelets, right here. This one was gifted to me by my daughter, Bianca, the first one. It says, they're all in Spanish.
Okay.
Son chorizos.
Son chorizos.
Yeah, it's something that we say to each other once in a while. It's a meme that she sent me once, and it was very, very cute, which basically translates, it's sausage.
Okay.
Or it's chorizo.
Yes.
So that. The second one was gifted to me by Katie Castellanos. I think that's how she says her
so
last
much
name.
For a friendship bracelet, you don't know the name.
Katie, not Cassie. Katie Castellanos. She is a Team Fredbird extraordinaire. Okay. She also works in the front office. So she saw the other ones, and she's a big Taylor Swift fan. So she gave me this one that says Cardinals.
Oh, I like that one.
The bottom one, it says La Voz, the voice.
Okay.
And this was was gifted by my daughter's Bianca's friend, Keely.
Oh.
Yeah, and I guess Taylor Swift is huge. I mean, I like Taylor Swift.
I was going to ask,
heard her songs.
You a Swiftie?
Well, I'm not going to say no because I know a lot of the songs. Nothing new. Like the old stuff, the 22.
So what is your favorite?
22. 22.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that.
Do it.
That's a good song.
This is a chance to show off your vocal range. We know you as a broadcaster.
Hey,
we want to see the singing and hear the singing side.
Trust me. There's videos of me singing out that. You don't want me to go T Swift Tissel right now.
I gotta find those videos. Yeah. I gotta find those.
Yeah, there was one that I destroyed before it was made public. It was Yadier Molina and I.
I've seen that one.
No.
I think I have. I've seen some videos of you and Yadi, like karaoke. Singing.
Yeah, but this one, we were Bad Bunny going hard without a shirt. So you don't want to see that.
Oh,
or maybe
okay.
You do. I don't know. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. That's a good way to start our Balk About It, which it's going to be intense from what you were telling me. Just so you know, Brooke and I talk maybe 2-3 times tops before we do the show every week or every other week.
Because we want to keep it fresh.
Yeah, and
here.
I don't even know what she's gonna bring up. I tell her, look, Brooke, I just sit down. The best polo you can get is the polo that sits down without knowledge of what you're gonna say.
Yeah,
and then
just reaction.
Like the whole Swift Thistle and this get up and all that stuff. So, but you need anybody. Send some bracelets to Brooke. You can send them to the station here.
I guess I'm kind of a Swiftie. I'll take them.
But you don't have any friends.
I have friends. You're my friend, right?
I don't know. We're acquaintances. We're co-hosts. But yeah, no. But thank you for noticing. I mean, I put a lot of effort. This week I only use one chain because I'm gonna go light. I'm gonna go humble. One little chain, no 2 chains.
Eventually, we got to get you a Mr. Worldwide chain
or a Mr. 314. I'm telling you.
There you go. You know? With like the world.
I might lie to people and say I like St. Louis style pizza. I don't know. If you pay me, I will say it. Do
you actually like it or not? This is serious.
I like pizza.
Be honest.
I like pizza cut the right way.
So what's the right way?
Triangles.
Okay. So say that they cut the St. Louis style pizza, Emos, as we all know, the square beyond compare. Say that they didn't cut it in a square and they did it with triangles. Would you still like it?
I will try it. And if I like it, I will say it. The squares, and I had this conversation just a few days ago with Jim Jackson, producer extraordinaire for KMOX Radio in St. Louis, Busch Stadium. And we were talking about square pizza and triangle pizza. And I said, look, I don't have a problem with the squares. That's fine. The thing is, the crust is always the crust, and I enjoy the crust. But then when you get to the middle, when you get the middle square, the middle part of the pizza cut in a little square, what do you get? You're not even able to scoop it up. You get like almost like
you can. You just kind of flip it up.
You get almost like oatmeal-like consistency. Think about it.
So mushy is what you're saying?
Exactly.
Okay.
Mushy and moist and things like that.
That sounds delicious. To each their own.
Yeah.
To each their own, I guess.
I like it. I like my pizza with a little hardness into it.
Okay.
Like I don't like I don't mind a pizza you pick it up and then go blop. That's fine.
So like New York style.
I like pizza.
Okay.
I mean, you can tell I like anything.
I just like how you've spent maybe like 2 minutes dancing around the fact that you don't like St. Louis pizza. That's my takeaway. Anyways.
No, I like pizza, and it's made in St. Louis, so it's St. Louis pizza now.
I'm talking about St. Louis style.
You're talking about Provo cheese and all that stuff.
Cheese.
I had it a couple times, and I can tell you that 2 times I have not been like, whoa, I'm going to try this again. So maybe the third. If anybody, hey, Emos, come on now. We need sponsors here. Triangle pizza, maybe.
You give it a shot?
The Polo Asensio style St. Louis pizza. It's Provo cheese, cut triangles.
The Mr. 314 Worldwide Pizza.
Why not? It needs to have jalapenos, though.
Okay.
And pineapple.
Chorizo?
Hey, chorizo, jalapenos, pineapple. There you go.
Okay. I would eat that. That sounds like a great idea. Well, you kind of mentioned, and I just want to go ahead and dive into it because right now, with where we stand, the Cardinals are sellers, essentially, going into the trade deadline. This is a position that I don't think many people have ever experienced with the Cardinals. It's been, how long since they've been in this situation? Probably the 90s.
I can tell you that I've been here 7 years, 8 seasons, counting those 2 games that we did in 2016. And even then, it was the last weekend of the season and the Cardinals were in contention. They were like 2 games behind, I like to say, the Cubs in 2016. And they were not selling anybody. They were bringing in people to help. And ever since, bring in. And the other thing that you read and you hear, and obviously we don't all have the same opinion. But when Mo said the other day, we're gonna trade players. But we always trade players. Last season we traded Harrison Bader.
Yes.
And a lot of people were mad about it. And we traded Johan Oviedo, who's having an okay season in Pittsburgh, with a minor leaguer. And then before that, we traded John Gant, and we always trade players.
Yeah.
So when people make a big deal, Mo said we're trading players. People, we always trade players.
But this is different.
This is different because we have a lot of free agents to be. Mm-hmm. When you have free agents to be, you think, okay, maybe that guy is going to be a little bit too expensive. Maybe he's going to think we're going to pay him that much and we are not. So perhaps if that player is doing well, let's just say a pitcher or a closer, and they're doing well, and we don't think we're going to resign him, or think about this. You trade him, you get a couple prospects, and how many times have we seen that player that gets traded come back?
Yeah.
So let's just say we trade Flack Jaherty.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds similar to a name that I know that's currently.
Let's trade Flack Jaherty somewhere.
Okay.
Then this Flack Jaherty brings you a AA, a AAA pitcher. Then he goes, does well. Next thing you know, in the offseason, you knock, hey, Mr. Jaherty, how much do you want? We want this much. Hey, makes sense. Let's go back. That could happen, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's different to hear it like that. It's a lot different when people put it out there like, oh my God, the Cardinals are sellers. It's not the end of the world. You know, it's not the end of the world. There's still a lot of baseball to be played. And I know, I'm not drinking Kool-Aid. It's a very nice vanilla latte. But hey, things can happen. Things can happen. Have you ever seen Angels in the Outfield?
Mm-hmm.
Could happen.
That is true. I guess the situation the Cardinals are in, though, the way that they have played up until this point, and it was interesting because John Mozeliak, the Cardinals president of baseball operations, addressed media members the other day, and he pretty much said a couple of things that were interesting. One, that they're going to change their pitching philosophy moving forward. Surprise, surprise. Banning the shift actually might affect things, especially when...
I mean, I've seen numbers. I've seen numbers of some players that are ground ball players that used to be. And the other thing is, and we know this if you follow the Cardinals, they're, other than the first base and the third base and perhaps the shortstop with Paul DeJong being there all the time, every other position, including catcher, it's like a revolving door.
Yes.
It's like in and out. Who's here? Who's here? It's not who's on first. It's who's on left, who's on center, who's on right, who's on second, So it's difficult for the players. It's difficult for the manager. It's difficult for the fans to understand that sometimes the necessity of putting your best second baseman into the outfield that happens to be your best outfielder, it's not the best thing to do, because then you open up a position, right? And then what happens? The Cardinals are committing a few errors, even though with the number of mistakes we've been doing in the on defense, we're only like the third best team in the National League. So there's only a couple teams better than the Cardinals when it comes down to a percentage playing defense. So yeah, it's not Cardinal-like or the Cardinal way-like to play defense, but we're not that bad. It's just, like you said, pitching. Pitch
to contact. And he mentioned that the philosophy moving forward cannot be that. They need more swing and miss, which that sounds simple, right? Because doesn't every team want swing and miss stuff? But their approach to pitch to contact is something that we have seen that hasn't exactly worked out, because sometimes it hasn't exactly gone their way. And how many times have we seen that this season when it comes to starting pitching? Because starting pitching is what sets the table. And it feels like offensively, if you actually look at the numbers, this has been a good group, and it was built to be a good group offensively. But their starting pitching has been so hit or miss, inconsistent. And I mean, even like the runs that they would give up in the first inning, one of the worst in Major League Baseball when it comes to first inning, like ERA in all of Major League Baseball. That is something that can't continue moving forward. And they're going to have to, one, make some moves at the trade deadline, and two, address this in free agency, because who do you have next season in your starting rotation?
Free agency. That's key. And we think we have some talent, right, in the minor leagues, with all due respect. I mean, obviously everybody's talented.
Michael McGreevy, Gordon Graceffo.
We think, right?
Yeah. It's different. Well, what about Matthew Liberatore? What happened with that?
So we think we have the talent. Now, do we have the talent, right?
Yes.
How many times the guys that you don't think are going to do something or are going to excel and become regular big leaguers, not even superstars, you don't even know who they are. Next thing you know, they are gone, and you see them flourish somewhere else, and now all your fan base is mad.
Yeah.
right? And that is something that I told you during the All-Star break. I mean, enough. And enough. I mean, I love Randy. He's my boy. I love him. Adolis, I love him.
Are you tired of seeing that?
No. I'm tired of listening and reading about, oh, this guy. Dude, move on. Life moves on. You move on. Be happy. Those guys are over there doing something for themselves. How many times you don't have a chance to excel in your current situation? You need to move on. Well, they didn't have a chance. We thought we were making good trades. Guess what? It happens. The Nolan Arenado trade, perfect trade for us.
Of course.
The Goldschmidt, perfect trade for us. We knew we were trading for superstars, and we were sending guys that the other teams thought they can be superstars. Where are they now? You know? Heck, I don't even remember their names.
Austin Gomber was a part of, I know, with Nolan Arenado.
And Gamber, Mateo Gil, I know him because his dad is a homeboy of mine, Benjamin Gil, vive Mexico, in Arizona.
Yeah.
Weaver, he's with the Reds now. People talk about Zach Gallen. Zach Gallen, we traded him to the Marlins. And what happens? The Marlins traded him to Arizona. So the Marlins are supposed to be the ones knocking themselves, not the Cardinals. But no, you have people writing, fans doing the radio talk. Dude, let it go. Like Elsa in Frozen. Let it go. Let it go.
Sing it. You said you do karaoke.
I just said let it go. Let it go.
I think what some people are upset about is not at the players and exiting. I think that they're happy to see them moving on, doing great. Especially Randy. I think they are. I think Randy Arozarena, he is so much fun to watch.
I think people are selfish, and they're not happy for Randy. They're mad for themselves, and they want to be mad at somebody. And who are you going to be mad at?
Not Randy. They're going to be mad at the organization. And that's what I'm getting to, is that I think that they're more upset at the organization continuing to make these moves where you had this potential talent, and especially specifically with Randy Arozarena. I mean, he did great in the minors. He got, what was it, like 13 at-bats in the majors? And then he's moved away. And so, of course, the question will always be, would he be able to do the same if he was still in the Cardinals organization? Or did he need to go elsewhere, a change of scenery?
I don't remember anybody screaming. I remember
because people were talking about Jose Martinez.
I remember people saying, "Hey, you know what? We got Matthew Liberatore. This kid is this kid is that." People were happy to get a lengthy lefty, and by the way, he's still young.
He still has a chance.
That's the other thing here. Dylan Carlson, Lars Nootbaar, him, Matthew, Donnie, Donovan. They're really young. People flourish, or people get to their potential at different times.
But I think the concern that some of the fan base has is, do you worry that the Cardinals might be doing something that's stifling these players and their abilities to where they are able to fully flourish here within the Cardinals organization? Because when you see players flourish elsewhere, like a Randy Arozarena, Adolis Garcia, then you start to wonder what was missing and what was not properly evaluated about the talent when they were here with the Cardinals.
I mean, I am going to, and I know, trust me, people, I'm not the one who drinks Kool-Aid. I'm not the one who follows the leader. I'm not.
I don't know. Let's check. Let's check to see if that's Kool-Aid that's in there.
No, it's a vanilla latte.
Can we edit that to Kool-Aid, please? Okay.
Kool-Aid man. You know what? Hey, Kool-Aid, come on. We need sponsors. Sometimes things happen.
I get that.
Things happen, and
like that video coming out with Mike Schilt. Did that have anything to do with it, you think?
I don't know. I really don't know.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know. I remember that. I didn't see it until later. I was there in Atlanta when that happened. I mean, I don't know. To be honest with you, I guess only one person might know, 2 or 3, if that had to do anything with it. But at the same time, who was your outfielder? You had a bunch of and the same problem you have right now, you had then. A bunch of outfielders that you think can play, but at the end, like I said, they're too young still. You need some veteran presence that is going to make a difference in the clubhouse.
Yes.
Right now, you have Wilson, you have Adam Wainwright, you have Nolan, you have Goldie. Other than that, everybody else is pretty young. Maybe Michaelas is getting there, but everybody else is young and inexperienced, especially the bullpen. It's young and inexperienced. The one with the most experience is Gio Gallegos, and he made his debut in 2018 at age, what was it, 26, 27 with the Yankees.
That's pretty crazy when you think about that.
So he's not, you've seen Gio for a few years here. You think, he's like 25, 26. No, the guy is 30, which is not old. But in baseball years, for a reliever, 30 years old, hopefully another 5 years, right? So we need to move on. So yeah, I'm happy for Randy. I said it, boom, boom, let's go.
The boots,
but yeah,
the all-star,
las botas del poder. So let's leave that. Let's we cannot move forward if we keep thinking about the past.
That's true.
Then I told you I was philosophy polo.
There we go. And we'll make sure that we'll edit that Kool-Aid in there that he is sipping, because the position the Cardinals are in right now is really interesting, because where we sit right now, today is the 18th. I know this episode comes out a little bit later. I'm sure some moves are coming as we approach the trade deadline. But right now, the Cardinals haven't made any moves other than DFAing Genesis Cabrera. You talked about the bullpen, a reliever. I know his numbers are a little bit inflated, but it was because of just really that one game that he had. Other than that, I think that that's the only move we've seen so far, but that was a really shocking move to me personally, because I thought with Genesis Cabrera, that's not a name that I would expect to get DFA'd.
No, me either. But from the outside, me either. From the inside, I'm not surprised. I always tend to go talk to my people, mi gente, amo arriba, Latinos. And Cavi was one of them. Cavi was one of them. And he still is. I still send him a message because, you encourage people. I still message Adolis. Even Jose Martinez, Cafecito, who's playing in Mexico. Carlos Martinez, who was playing in Mexico. I said, hey, how you doing? Everything's good. Let's go. Let's keep it up. So with Cavi, I think it was needed for him and for the club. I think it started last season. And we remember when he had a little tantrum on the mound when he got the Rosenbag and threw it on the floor. Yeah. And then Ollie grabbed them, and they said a couple of things. Next thing you know, Albert is basically telling Cavi, we don't do that. Not with the Cardinals, not anywhere else, especially out there. If you have a problem, back door, close the door. 2, not the media.
Yeah.
2, you and you, maybe 3, to make sure that everything is set. So with Cavi, I think it started then. Then he got sick. Then he got COVID. After COVID, he was not the same. He lost a few ticks in his velocity. This season, he came in. He always wanted to be a starter. But at the end, he's like, okay, I'm going to be a reliever. And he had a good run. Then he was set down. Remember, he went to AAA. Then he came back up. And at the end, his last outing, he did 1 inning. Boom, 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 let's go. And as he was walking off the mound, he made a gesture that he should have not have. Because nobody made him mad from the other club, unlike Gio when he was in Chicago and the team from Chicago was yelling and telling him things. I get that. That's competition.
Yeah.
But, when you're excited, point to the heavens, pump your chest, do something, but don't do some gestures that just don't look right. And that was the end of him. So the 8th inning, and then he comes out for the 9th. He gives up 2 runs, and then the tying run, I think it was at first or with the hitter, and they had to put a guy up on the 9th inning with two outs. And I know after that he wasn't happy, and he basically, they had a talk, and Mo said it. They had a talk. He expressed his interest of perhaps being moved on or traded or let him go. And that's what they did. So maybe the way was not the right way from him to demand or ask for the trade. I don't know. I wasn't in the room. But I think he got what he asked for. And for the Cardinals, again, time to move on from him. Best of luck. Mucha suerte, Cavi. Ya sabes que te queremos mucho aquí en San Luis. Ya sabes dónde encontrarme siempre. Pero we move on. Now, guess who's back? Zach Thompson.
Oh, did you
back.
hear the latest with that too?
I mean,
so Zach Thompson, by the way, goes from bullpen to begin the season. Then they send him down to the minors to stretch him out as a starter, and now he's going to be back in the bullpen again. And will say John Mozeliak did mention that moving forward in regards to Zach Thompson and some of the players, that they're going to make sure they have more clear defined roles. That way they will be able to build some more consistency.
And hopefully for everybody, not just for the pitchers.
Well, and how many times have we seen that where you mentioned earlier where players are playing multiple different positions? It's not a secret that you wonder why maybe they haven't looked as great defensively at certain positions because they're not playing their typical position or they don't have a defined role sometimes. And I don't think it's a coincidence that you're seeing things drop off in a lot of ways. Fundamentals drop off, things defensively dropping off from a lot of the players when there's not a clear defined role. So I'm happy to hear that they're going to have a more clear defined role for players moving forward. I feel for Zach Thompson because that's a really tough position to be in. And if I was him, I don't know how he feels. I know that either way you get to play in the bigs, but you have to be a little angry about that.
And you get to play in the bigs, but at what cost, right? You get to be
because he struggled as a starter.
You get to be a big leaguer. Like I tell people, one thing is to be in the big leagues, and another one is to be a big leaguer.
Yes.
You know, we've seen, and this year again,
players getting yanked around.
It's like, and we you know, this is not a secret. Relationships.
Yes.
We always get not always, but we all get in arguments, heavy fights. Everybody does. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. You get in a big fight at least once. It's not how you fight, it's how you come out of that fight, of that argument.
Yeah.
And this year for the Cardinals is that fight. Is that argument. That tough fight between tradition and ways of doing things and ways of thinking to a new way of thinking because baseball is different. So this is 23 for us. We are stuck. Now, how are we going to open up those doors and move into 24 and beyond? Because the fan base, I mean, this year, even as bad a record we have, only the Dodgers have more people coming into the stadium. And if you've ever been to Dodger Stadium, it's 56,000. Over here is 46,000. And you're second to that. Fans are showing up.
Yeah.
So if things don't move on, maybe next year things will be different. So I expect, obviously, finish this season, finish it strong. We don't know what's going to happen because there's a lot of baseball to be played. But 2024 is going to look a little different. I think some screws are going to be tightened. If you cannot get quality pitching in trades, there's going to be some quality pitching in free agency. Julio Urias, talking to you. It's not tampering. I don't play for the
Arenado, maybe.
So you know, there's guys out there.
But you got to spend a lot of money.
Well, hey, you gotta spend a lot of money to make a lot of money. So next year,
unless you're the Mets.
Well, I'm sure they make money, but they don't win. And of course, I cannot break my streak. The Padres.
Oh,
because somebody was telling me the other day, why do you always talk about the Padres? It's fun to talk about the Padres. It's fun. I mean, I have a lot of people in San Diego and Tijuana that thankfully listen. And by the way, thank you, everybody who talks about this.
Yeah.
Somebody told me the other day, you and Brooke are the duo that I never knew I needed in my life. It's like Batman and Robin.
Somebody put that right there. That's our new logo, our new
French fries
saying.
and ketchup, Batman, Robin, ribs and barbecue. I don't know. Give me
Polo and St. Louis pizza.
Oh my God. That's a bad one, but
that's a perfect one.
It's all right.
Okay. Real quick,
yes.
Before we move on to the last segment, because we have been talking a lot about trade stuff, but I just want to get from you two things. Bold predictions, Cardinals second half of the season. Can be a trade, could be whatever, just a bold prediction that you have for the Cardinals second half.
Okay. The Cardinals are going to end the season within 5 games of the division, and that could include winning the division.
Winning the division?
I said, you know what? I want to make it even better. Within 4 games of the lead and maybe even taking the division.
Who's winning the division in this little master plan that you have?
Not the Reds.
What if they get some good starting pitching?
Are they?
Still not enough? I don't know. Their starting pitching is atrocious.
Their prospects are all up.
Yeah.
Their top 3, 4 prospects are up there. And unless you have a lot of prospects that we don't know about, who are you going to trade for? Or I mean, we know who you want to trade for, but who are you going to send to let's say, the Padres for Blake Snell.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I mean, and I
They're
don't
in a
know
bad
what they have
position.
down there. I don't know what they have down there, the Reds, but to
Their
get
top
something
guys
good,
are there.
you need to give something good.
Yes.
So, and they have traded in the past, you know, Luis Castillo, Winkler, and all those guys, Suarez to Seattle. So now, are you gonna give up some of those prospects that you got for perhaps this season, or are you gonna keep this core of young players and Joey Votto for the future? So you know what? Whatever happens this season happens. Maybe we make a couple of trades of the fan base that, oh, they want to do something, but they are focused in the future. And maybe they'll save up the money and save up the talent for next season. And they go after pitching. Who knows? Maybe Jaherty signs next year with the Reds.
That would be crazy.
That would be crazy, but not impossible.
I guess,
So,
if
you
the
know,
money's right.
So maybe they go after those guys. So I don't see the Reds. So that leaves me with the Cardinals or the Brewers.
The Brewers have been doing pretty well as of late.
I mean,
Watch they'll tank by
all of a
the
sudden,
time this episode airs.
all of a sudden, what's his name? Pete Davidson has been doing great. So
Are you saying Christian Yelich?
the guy, yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, who looks like Pete Davidson? And then I remember Christian Yelich. This is my bold prediction.
Wait. What's your bold prediction, bro?
My bold prediction is that they are going to trade Dylan Carlson
I hope not.
to the Yankees. There's already been reports that
For
the
Harrison Bader?
Yankees, no, I think for maybe some pitching prospects, somebody that could eventually be ready for the organization, for the Cardinals organization, because they did say they're looking to players who would be available, young talent wise, by next season, maybe even 2025. 2026 is too far away. So they're looking for guys who can be ready next season. And now I think that they will move away from Dylan Carlson. And the thing is I don't like it, but they keep kind of hinting towards maybe a painful trade, a household name. I think Dylan Carlson here is a well-known player, somebody that you might consider is somebody that is well-known.
Somebody that we didn't, and notice how I do this. Somebody that we didn't trade for allegedly Juan Soto.
Well,
last
he
year.
wasn't the only one involved in that trade.
I know.
But it's very interesting, the comments that have come out. One, they said their starting outfield moving forward is going to involve Tyler O'Neill, which I get they're probably showcasing Tyler O'Neill, but we all know that he doesn't have that much value when it comes to if you're trying to get a lot in return. Lars Nootbaar and then Jordan Walker. Dylan Carlson, they've pretty much hinted as he's kind of the odd man out. And couple that with the reports that the Yankees are interested in him, I think that he's gone.
That's a bold prediction.
And I don't like it. I'm not saying I like this or condone this. I just think it's the position that the Cardinals have put themselves in where they're desperate for pitching
either with
talent.
the Cardinals or somewhere else, Dylan Carlson is going to be a star.
I agree.
He's going to give you 20, 25 home runs. He's going to give you 75, 80 plus RBIs. He's going to give you 260 to 70. He bats both sides. He is a very good defender. Your
best center fielder.
He could be another one. You know, like we don't talk about Randall Grichuk.
Yes.
You know, he's had a solid career.
Yeah.
You know, everywhere he goes, he performs. Steven Piscotty, when he was, you know, with Oakland, he did great. So guys that move on, that are not so flashy, so wow, crazy, or so look at me like Randy, but they go on and have very good, solid careers. Not here. And
sometimes what changes scenery.
Dude, I hope it's not. I hope. Dang. I mean that last year with Bader, I was like, oh. With Carlson, I'll probably shed a tear. I hope not.
And he's a great person, great player, great defender, as you mentioned. I know that he's had
Mexican American, his mom is Mexican. He talks to me in Spanish once in a while. Come on now.
Yeah.
You know, if you speak Spanish to me once in a while, I have a spot for you right here.
Hola.
Not in the Ted Cruz, but mi corazón.
I can get through like a few words.
By the way, I do this now, like Taylor Swift. I don't do the normal people way, like this. I go this.
How do you do that?
Like Peso Pluma. If you don't know who Peso Pluma is, the next big thing. Like this. Yeah, it's a different heart. No, even he's doing it.
That's
Look,
the
even
thumbzay.
he's doing it. Look,
that's the
there
thumbnail. There we go. That's beautiful.
The no-name producer in the back.
That's Zayn.
We are not supposed Zayn, like the guy from One Direction.
We're slowly exposing him.
Well, today's Zayn. Next time it's gonna be Liam, then Harry. You know, One Direction. We're gonna go Right. Hey,
we'll
I'm
go through
telling
the
you,
end.
thanks to my daughter and you know my open mind in music,
Yes.
I'm hip. That's why I have my friendship bracelets.
There you go. Okay, so that was our bold predictions. We'll see what happens there. Last segment to close things out. We had the All-Star game. A lot of interesting stuff coming from that. But my big takeaway from the whole All-Star week festivities,
Uh-huh.
Nick Castellanos
Nicolas.
said, yes, he said something very interesting that has a lot of people divided.
Okay.
So, you know, they always come and just ask fun questions to players. He was asked who his favorite superhero is. Do you know who his favorite superhero is?
I heard it, but I forgot. So I'm gonna love this because I like it when I don't know things.
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo, right?
And so And so when he was asked about it, he was like, well, I mean, he's a dog that can help people. He can talk and helps them solve mysteries. That's a superhero. I'm going to have to agree with him.
Yeah.
I think that that's a really good superhero.
I agree with Nick. And you know what? Next time, the Phillies coming or they already? No, they haven't. I'm going to ask him for a signed baseball and I'm going to ask him to please put like Ruby. I love Ruby.
I thought that was such a good point. How I've never thought about that before.
I guess we didn't.
He's, I mean, Scooby's like fighting, solving crime. I love everything about that.
Me too. Well, I'm so happy right now.
Okay,
who
who's
I don't
the
like?
second?
You know, Scrappy. Scrappy Doo, the little dog. You know, like let me get out of here, Scrappy. No.
Scooby is the real superhero.
Yeah, let's go, gang. Scooby Doo. Shout out to my wife. She's a big Scooby Doo fan.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
I love Scooby.
Yeah,
and he's a
Scooby.
superhero in our hearts.
Yes.
And in Castellanos' hearts.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's Polo. Thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode of Balk About It.
Love it.
We'll see what happens for the Cardinals. If our bold predictions come true, I think Polo doesn't want mine to come true. So make sure to comment and send in what you think the bold predictions will be.
Benefits the player and the organization, I'm fine.
That's all that matters.
And if it benefits the player, again, somebody that I like and respect, I'll be very happy. It's like if you ever move on from St. Louis and go to, I don't know, big market somewhere else. I mean, look, you know what? It sucks because she's gone, but I hope she does better.
I will remember you. That's a beautiful song.
I don't know about that. That's depressing. That's depressing.
Okay, I'm just trying to get invited to karaoke.
You should listen to Peso Pluma.
Peso Pluma.
Peso Pluma. He's it. Mexican singer. His dad was born in Lebanon, and he was born in Jalisco, Mexico.
Oh.
And yeah, Peso Pluma.
Okay, I'll look it up.
But anyway, so yeah, ball predictions. In a couple of weeks, let's see if Fact Jaherty is still here.
Or Dylan Carlson.
Or Dylan. I hope so. DC3.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.